My client John got taken in by a pretty common recruiter scam going on right now that is particularly targeting people looking for remote work. A lot of those people are in tech. A lot of my clients are in tech, but it can happen for other types of jobs too. If you don't know me, my name is Diana. I am a career and executive coach. I focus mostly on people that are in the tech industry as leaders, working on their leadership growth, career growth, and job searches, which is why we're talking about a hiring scam. And I'm super curious if you've ever been kind of targeted by a hiring scam. I'd love to know. There's a couple different ones that are happening. So drop it in the comments and maybe we can talk in another video about some of the red flags for those other scams. Okay. In this case, my client, 25 years of experience, hasn't had to run the job search gauntlet that a lot of people are running right now because they've been referred into their last couple of jobs. And the scam was represent a company that was legitimate. At a high level, the initial contact was via email and went all the way from an initial email from the fake recruiter all the way through to, I need you to send us some more personal information, some of which would let you steal an identity, so that we can generate your offer letter in 4 days with no interview. That whole life cycle right there is a big red flag. So if you ever get through a process and you're getting an offer without an interview, no, that's not a thing. Some of the other red flags are as follows. Number one, the job posting, the type of job for the type of company that they were trying to convince my client he was getting an offer for, he was underqualified, if not like borderline unqualified for the role, because my client had worked a lot on legacy apps and the company in question worked on cutting edge AI and data analytics technology. Those are not skill sets that match. Also, on the company's own website, the legit company's own website, it said on the careers page that any communication about hiring is going to come either through LinkedIn Messenger or from an email that has @companyname.com as the domain. In my client's case, the email came from a domain of careers-companyname.com, which is a tactic scammers will use to try to put a little bit more credibility into their scam by putting the brand name inside their communication. Other indicators of a red flag are that the initial email was addressed to Dear Applicant. My client hadn't applied for anything yet, but even if he had, even if they were just trying to source him, they're going to use the first name. If they go through the effort to find you and say you're qualified for this and send you an email, which can be a time-intensive process, they're going to use your name in the salutation. There were also patterns in the writing that indicated high likelihood that a person with English as a second language had written the stuff, but the person had an American or English, like basically someone highly likely to have English as their first language as the name of the scam recruiter. So those things don't match very well. It's like a little bit of a Nigerian prince vibe. Other indicators that were a concern are that the person, the fake recruiter did not exist on LinkedIn, and they were using a job title that is different than the talent acquisition professionals that the actual company has in the signature. So this person had recruitment officer as the title, and that is not a title that the real company uses. There were some other red flags, but honestly, those are enough to kind of head you off at the pass. My client very smartly reached out to me and said, hey, this moved really fast. Is it possible to even get a job offer without an interview? He stopped sending information. So everything's good. Hopefully him and his identity are okay. And I want you to be okay too. So if you get an email that has the weird URL, you can't find the recruiter on LinkedIn, etc., then please just don't communicate. Just delete the email. And if you get farther in the process, just the second you realize that there's a problem, just stop sending any further information. If you get so far into it that you've sent things like a social security number because, supposedly you're onboarding with the company, then you might consider going to the credit bureaus and putting a freeze on your credit report to kind of reduce the odds of identity theft. All right, that's it. Sorry that these scams are happening, but I'm glad I can help you avoid them.